My spiritual awakening was not gentle.
Mm.
It was profound. It shook my whole foundation.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I am so grateful to be here with you again. We've got another Double Your Income Energy Scan Spotlight show. I am so grateful to have the guest on that I have today. She's, someone I've just recently met, but Crystal is an amazing person in terms of just being an amazing person, first of all. The number two is that she is very, I want to say very like determined to succeed at a very high level doing this work that she does in the world. And I have no doubts she's going to be rocking it in a bigger way as she goes forward. And she's got a new book coming out and everything. And she's had quite a journey from the corporate world and all the successes and all the challenges of that, and then transitioning into doing this type of work that we're going to be talking about, living from a joyful place, and doing all the deeper spiritual work that we're meant to be doing to fully awaken and all that stuff. And she's a great guide for it. She's the example, she's the model. You want to be tracking with this Crystal Trevors here for sure. So anyway, so Crystal, it's great to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Those kind words. Amazing. Thank you.
Sure thing. It's funny because as I said, tracking, I'm like, yeah, you're kind of like, you find you're probably one of those people like, you're like, if you're out on the nature trail, you could be this person. I don't know if you are now, but like, you're like, I see the like lines. I here, let's go this way. Like, you can strike me as that type of person.
I have lots of energy, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have lots of energy to spend. So,
All
yeah,
right.
so thank you. Yeah, so thank you for having me on the show. I've enjoyed your podcast and I look forward to this conversation.
Yeah. So let's talk about your background. We literally just met, for the first time the other day, and I'm like, hey, I got time tomorrow, as it turns out. Let's go ahead, let's do this thing. And so here we
Yeah.
are. So it's fun that way too. But you come from a background that includes being the CEO, and tell me if I'm wrong, of a medical tech company, and you did that for a long time, right? So tell us about your background, getting into doing what
Sure.
you're doing now. Yeah.
I often start my story with amusing people with the fact that I used to make vaccines for fish.
Okay.
So
Didn't even know that existed.
I know, and not a lot of people do. But yes, like any animal that's herd health, like pigs or cattle, they also get diseases and need to have vaccination protection. So,
Right.
anyways, my background is a scientist. I'm an immunologist, a molecular biologist by training. Worked in those fields for many, many years, and eventually worked my way to founding my own startup medical technology company, and I ran that company for over 12 years. And I've recently stepped back as the CEO to take on this new life calling and hand off the responsibility for that company to new management, new energy, new blood. And it feels right, feels just the moment. It feels, everything feels aligned. I'm happy with the choice. I'm ready to embrace this new calling as a spiritual guide, a spiritual teacher, a healer, and a transformational life coach.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today.
Yeah. All the good stuff. So, when did you start getting interested in all this stuff? Was it more recently, or is it like some people, it's like decades? Yeah, I was starting to take some courses decades ago and all that type of stuff, but or is yours more recent?
So 2019, I'd
Okay.
say is when things began. Well, definitely when things began. My spiritual awakening was not gentle.
Mm,
It was profound. It shook my whole foundation. And, you know, I was the CEO of a growing technology company. I was doing all the things. I was going to the conferences, raising capital, hiring people, entering new markets. Um, but during that year, my daughter got sick. She was in a really dark place, battling depression, and she ended up in the hospital. And I just remember coming home that night and thinking, this, like, well, it was my darkest moment as a mother. And I just dropped onto my knees. I started praying to God. I was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I am lost. Please help me. And I heard an answer, and it was profound, and it was just two words, and those two words were live joy. They hit me like a lightning bolt. I had no idea what it meant. I had no idea how that was supposed to help me in my predicament at the moment. I went to bed that night feeling shook, confused. And it took a few days for me, like going back into that moment and just really came to the conclusion like, I need to figure out what it would really mean to live joy. That's the message. What does that even look like? I,
mhm,
I, I didn't know at the time. So that
mhm.
was day one.
Wow.
And from there, it's amazing how things unfolded for me. Synchronicities, teachers, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Beautiful spiritual teacher that came into my life and really helped me understand what was happening to me and how to heal. Um, and it just like everything I am today, everything that I've learned, everything that I now teach as a guide, the healing modalities that I've specialized in, the road just revealed itself to me. And I
Yeah.
just stepped into it and followed the path.
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine, that scenario with your daughter um and so how did you find, I mean, that just, I don't know. Like I really wonder about that. Like, yeah, it would seem like that's kind of a bizarre message to get, around that time. Like, well, just be joyful. Come on, you know what I mean? Like it sounds so bizarre, but like it was really like truly like what you needed to hear. I mean, it's truly like I mean, yeah. So because if your daughter had depression and all that, right? It's like almost like helping to elevate that energy for you both, right? Like this idea, like, no, we need to have, more lightness, joy, or whatever, like it needs to raise the frequency is really a priority now. And like an
Yes.
assignment almost for everybody involved, right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, my company is called Joy Coaching. Guess why, right?
Mhm.
Like, not very many people understand the purpose and the meaning behind like Live Joy. They're nice words, but it's much more deep than that for me. I mean,
Right.
this is my soul's mission is to really work with awakening women, women who are navigating that journey of spiritual awakening
Hmm.
and really allow them to reclaim and embody that frequency. I call it their birthright frequency, their inherent worthiness, their right to a fulfilled life. Everybody was meant to live a fulfilled life. It's the life they were meant to be living. And just to help women remember that sacred truth.
Hmm. Wow. So, I mean, what got you into doing, I mean, let's just spend a little more time with this. Like, what got you into being, uh, I mean, I get you. You're like, you love science. I mean, like, it's not like you got into a bad career, like somebody like twisted your arm completely into it, right? Like you loved what you did, right,
Yes.
overall. But what happened, and based on what you told me before, the little bit we talked was that just got too heavy. It just got to be too much. So tell us a little bit more about how that's piled up on you individually.
Sure. I mean, when you think about October of 2019, that was one thing. We all know what happened in March of 2020. And as a young company selling medical technology to hospitals and senior care homes, and COVID shut down the world, we we were struggling. We were literally lost access to most of our clients and our upcoming contracts, and that was stressful in itself. But thinking back now, I realize that at the time that my daughter needed me the most, I became solely available to witness her healing and do my own healing at the
Mhm,
same time. So as
mhm,
she was healing from her depression, I was trying to make sense still of what my mission was and what it also meant to heal. I mean, so many women are spiritually starved. I was definitely one of them. I didn't even know it. And
mhm,
so we talk about awakening and waking up and what does that mean, and people walking like zombies, and we hear all these analogies of what it means to awaken, and it's that journey of inner healing, that journey of remembering our inherent worth. It's the journey of remembering that we're not put on this world to hustle, and the whole scarcity trap, and how we have to earn to live, and we can't have anything, like we can't be live a fulfilled life until we've earned it. I just want to turn all of that, just turn it all around. I always say fulfillment is the guidepost that will lead you to exactly where you're meant to be.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, so you stop the efforting to get fulfillment is what I'm hearing, right?
Flip it on its head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, because we're so indoctrinated. I still have had to keep moving through that one over the years. I mean, there's times, in my business, starting this in 2006, being getting online, doing this sort of stuff, and there's been times when it's been, really challenging. It's hard to pay the bills. I can't pay the bills and all that stuff early on, and then it was like, okay, let me double down. I'm gonna really get to work, and then, you know, I was able to break through. I was able to start having success and have the clients, but then, at some point it's like, well, okay, I've got to get the energy more expanded and lighter and even, more expanded and more thriving. And so I was able to get to that level. And then I built out, a little organization for myself, a school and, for invincible, academy for invincible healers. And then honestly, like, the years I had that, in some ways were the most fulfilling years I've had. I mean, because it was a beautiful thing. So you would be like, well, why aren't you still doing it? Like,
Yeah, I was
but right, right.
exactly.
But like, it's a guidance thing. It's like something tapped me on the shoulder, and it's like I kept asking, "Are you sure you want me to stop doing this?" But like, it was like, okay, no, you need to let this go now. This is time. That was great, but now it's time for whatever's next. And that's where I started doing all the stuff I do now, and including helping people in part like yourself. Like people are making transitions, going from like my burnout and everything, and now I'm starting to get my healing coaching business going, and then working with other high level, people are already been accomplishing in the industry and helping them go to another level. Um, Became almost like, not an employee, but like almost like an employee in one organization.
Okay.
But very high paid, obviously. But it was, so that was it. But it was almost like a desire I had for a long time. Like, what would it be like to be in this industry and work with for somebody else? Like I had people working for me. So it's like, okay, what is that like to be on the team rather than, I'll be on the other side, but I was at a much higher level than most people are
Yeah.
with me. But so it's what I'm trying to say is like, having that pointer of where's the greater expanded energy, where's the lightness, where's the joy, was responsible for my for everything rising up, like that was like the fuel. And it couldn't happen any other way, I don't believe, for me. Like I can be extremely, like a lot of people, like I can, I'll outwork everybody. I can be that person, and I almost will outwork everybody. There's always somebody can outwork you, right? But but anyway, I could use that as a badge of honor and not sleep and have insomnia and everything. But eventually burn out, right? And that's kind of what I got about you too. Is like that's what you ran into with the work you
Definitely.
used to do, right? You burn out basically,
I
right?
sure did.
Hmm.
I sure did. And it's almost, the boiling frog, like the slow, it's like that. You don't even realize how much life is taking out of you
Hmm.
until you collapse.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
isn't that unfortunate, really?
right. That it has to get to that point, right?
And that we've been told that it is a badge of honor,
Hmm.
resilience and grit and forcing your way through. Like when you're having struggle, you just turn up the dial and you get resilient and gritty and you just push through. And I just challenge that philosophy.
Yeah.
I invite my clients to soften into things,
Hmm. Right.
right? Let's just soften into it. We don't have to push our way through.
Hmm.
We can reflect, we can use introspection, we can soften our energy, we can receive, right? We can allow receiving, we can really just step back and explore with curiosity why things are happening. Like just sometimes we need to slow down to speed up.
Right, exactly. Exactly. For me, for whatever reasons, even when I thought I was going slow, like I've gotten, at times I get the turtle stuff, right? Like turtle symbols and stuff. Like one time I was at church and I don't know where it came from. Like this little itsy bitsy tiny turtle like hit my shoulder and like went down. It was like a I don't know, like a little thing, like not a real turtle. Hit my thing, my shoulder. It went on the ground. I'm like, what's this? Oh, it's a turtle. I have no idea where it came. I don't think someone threw it at me. I mean, I don't know where it came from. Like, it's like an angel. Like he needs a symbol. Let's throw it at him. Now I got turtles here in my office. Like again, stuffed animals and stuff, pictures and stuff like that. But as a reminder, like that is so true. I mean, there are many entrepreneurs types, in other industries that's their way. That's just hard charging, but we know again, those people better than I do, even probably, but like they're miserable. When they're really, really honest behind closed door, they're absolutely miserable. But then there's also other ones in this industry and other industries too, where they do have that philosophy. They're like, no, I just need to be a perfect listening for God's guidance in my life. And I'm just letting it, I've had him on the show. I need to just listen. Like James Twyman comes to mind when the first time I had him on. It's like, I think people are just too impatient sometimes. They just need to wait for the right thing to
Mhm.
come. And that's a huge part of fulfillment. The mind wants to try to figure it out, work harder and everything. And the more you scramble, the harder it gets. And like you're
True.
missing it, right?
Yes, and that's a challenge for a lot of people, even like women and men who are going through the awakening process is if you're mentally strong, right? If you have a strong mind, just allowing that to take the back seat,
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
right?
Totally.
That can be a tough transition in itself.
Right. Right. Because it's funny. Like I thought I was doing better with that at times in the past than I have in recent years sometimes. Sometimes the mind wants to get back in there. No, let me back in. We can make it even better.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not seeing the results though, and I'm not quite as happy as I used to be with this approach. So I've had to learn to re-surrender again. Like, oh no, no, because at some point your linear mind looks at your business and it's like, wait a minute, I should be even further. And then I know, like the old American way, you try harder, we're gonna make it happen. And it's like, and you start to go down that pathway, and like, I literally just can't even do it. First of all, like, you try to go in that direction, and then if you've already turned, for me, in my experience, I can't turn back. I can't like turn things back. B, just hard driving, work lots of hours. Like I've already done that. I've already been there, done that. And if I go to
Yep,
do it,
wrote the book.
yeah, I can only do it for a very short,
Yeah,
brief stint of time now. Like I told you today was a busy day. Like that's it. Like I'm done. Like I will retire tomorrow if I had to do that every day. Like I would be done. Like I'd be like, no, I
yeah,
can't, literally can't do it. Like I
yeah,
just
it's too
can't do
much.
it. Yeah.
And we weren't really built for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Be the
Right.
workhorse. So no, we have, it's so interesting that there's so much more opportunity. There are businesses that are defined by, if it isn't easy, we don't do it. And they have huge companies. There are companies like that.
Yeah,
If it isn't fun, we don't do it, right? Like I think we need to realize it's not just, and then it's called woo by some, right? Oh, that's just woo. That doesn't really work. And it's like, oh yeah, it does. I can't remember all the brand names, but they're big brand names you would recognize. You'd be like, really? That's how they did it? Like Potpourri, I think was one of them. They says, yeah, it's got to come easy, or it's got to flow, or I forgot how she put it. Like they have this like standard, and it's
yeah, I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, like it has to be this way, otherwise we don't do it, whatever it is. And so I think it's yeah, I think there's more and more of it coming online finally, and it's definitely overdue. I think there's very few people that can just keep grinding away and be able to even say to themselves like, "Oh, I'm actually happy." Like very, very
Yeah.
few people.
Yeah. I do feel hope because I feel like the days of having to choose between science and spirit
Hmm.
are moving behind us.
Hmm.
I see more and more integrated health clinics opening, like alternative medicine,
Hmm.
um, being removed from the woo like
Yeah.
label, and earning more respect. And science is catching up. I mean, intuitive healers, Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, like this has all been around for thousands of years, and fads don't last thousands and thousands of years. So science is catching up.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is interesting. It's the science is catching up to what's considered woo. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I say when people say they know the truth about things, I said, well, from quantum physics perspective, nobody knows this truth because you're just making it up, basically. Like that's how I look at it anyway. How I look at
Again,
quantum physics. If you literally can influence completely your experience of everything in science through your observation, all right, what's really creating like the experience of the results in your life and in the world? Like there's I literally believe everybody collectively believes like gravity doesn't exist anymore. Probably would create it. Like it would also it wouldn't be any gravity anymore, right? Like, like
we
that's
are
how
taking some
powerful we
backward
are.
steps too, aren't we? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So let's talk more about your directly more on the even more directly into your teaching. Um, Tell us more about how who you work with and how you help them to, you said there's depth to it, right? So how do you help people to live with joy?
Yeah. Great question. Um, so my coaching is all intuitive. Um, I always start with an assessment, and you've probably seen it. It's, like a wheel of life or wheel, I call it a circle of fulfillment. And I always ask people to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 in different life areas to really find out where it is that they're feeling unfulfilled. And one of the things that I share with them is everything that I teach is about energetic expansion. So we live in a little circle, like say you are here. And
Hmm.
as you go through the energy, like the energetic healing and expansion process, your circle of fulfillment can grow. Like I actually have, I always say to people, do you ever notice in your life when maybe you set an intention or you're manifesting a relationship and you
Hmm.
get that relationship, but your career suffers because we're
Hmm.
not expanding our energetic field. We're stealing energy from one area and
Hmm.
temporarily moving it to another area of our life, but
Hmm.
we steal that energy from another spot. And so
Mhm.
when I coach with awakening women, mostly spiritually curious women,
Mhm.
I teach them that what we're doing through the coaching process is expanding their circle of fulfillment. We're not just stealing energy from one area to put it into another area. And the methodology I use is something I call the alchemy of fulfillment. And this is what was downloaded to me through my own spiritual awakening and inner healing journey. And so the alchemy of fulfillment is basically this 4-stage energetic expansion process where we learn to receive
Mhm.
energetically, most important foundation of everything, release, transform, and create. And as we move through these circles, these phases, fulfillment is on the outskirts. Like fulfillment is the goal,
Mhm.
is for us to expand right into the fulfillment that's been there surrounding our energy field all this
Mhm.
time.
Right.
Just too many things in the way. We're just
Right.
almost there, right? We just need to clear the path a little bit.
Right. 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 Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a big breakthrough I had, at one point too, of just realizing how much of it was just letting go, like even not just spiritually, but like literally for results in any area of your life, really, but including business. Like, okay, let me clean up. Like right now, this office is a mess because I was producing some stuff for a company and whatnot, and I had to do scripts and all this stuff, and doing a video, and so it was a creative process, which was very grueling, but very fun in other ways. But it was tough. But I had to keep moving this office around, get the right lighting, all this. Anyway, but my point is like in the point of all that creation, like this office is a mess right now. But my point is like things are moving though. Like that's the benefit I've been looking at. Like I'm moving energy when I do this. When if I start to once I start reconstructing it and declutter, more and whatnot, like I'm moving energy, like everything, like it's moving energy. Like we used to say, me and some colleague friends, it's like, yeah, it's like I clean out a drawer and a new client, materializes. Sometimes it works that way. Like, the energetic foundation, of what you're up to is huge. Like you said, like that sets the tone for everything else. And but sometimes we don't tend to trust that. Like it's more about letting
Well,
go and emptying out than bringing more all the time, right?
and the question of trust is that honestly, we have this beautiful navigation system, or we are a moving energy system, right?
Mhm.
And we're completely cut off from it.
Mhm.
And, people in my sphere, like most of the people I know and grew up with, and part of my family,
Mhm.
they've never been taught about energy. They've never been taught about the wisdom of the body and how to dialogue with the body and how to, tune in and
Mhm.
that just all the intuitive wisdom that comes from our energy and from our body, our intuitive wisdom, like it's all there and it's easy to access. We've just never been taught. And
Mhm.
that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're these personalities and brains and stuff, and the body's just kind of there to help us along, but it's not really who we really are. We're about being in the brain. We're taught more in that direction at least, and the way taught us growing up right here in the U.S. for the most part. Like,
Well, you're right.
hey, you need to
And
connect with your body. Like,
our left brains are very strong. Our right brains are completely atrophied.
yeah, yeah,
So, with the coaching that I do, I try to explain like let's exercise our right side of our brain, which is emotion, it's feeling, it's intuition, right? It's all those things that we've not been paying attention to, but we can reconnect.
right. Like my dad used to say, "I'll give you a reason to cry," right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
What does that do? Just shuts you right down.
Right, exactly. I mean, okay, I guess that's not, I can't share that. I got to shut that one down and stuff. And some part of me knew because I was always intuitive, I guess. I didn't realize it, but like I was like, yeah, he's just upset because I'm upset though. I
Right.
got that. I understood that. I could feel that, but like still, it's like, oh, really? Like I can't, But yeah, we were told basically to ignore our bodies, eat whatever you want, like all this messages, have the life you want, have McDonald's today, have a happy meal. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. I guess there's some truth. Your body is a temple, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Embrace that. Yeah.
totally, totally. So okay, so yeah, that's huge. Now you've got, some programs and all this stuff to help support, the work that you do. So,
Yeah.
but before we get into that, I know you have a book, we're going to get into the energy scanning and doing the business building stuff. Um, so you've got a book coming out right around this time when this is going to air, which is a little ways off from when we're doing the recording, just a couple months or so.
Yeah.
But can you share, with everybody a little bit
Yeah.
about, the book and what you got in it?
Yes. Honestly, if you would have said a year ago that I was going to write a book, I wouldn't have believed you. So never say never. Never say never, everybody. Um, so as part of my coaching program, I created a course, and it was an 8 module course called Lingerlust. I know that's maybe a strange word or a word you've never heard, but think about wanderlust. And
Mm-hmm.
wanderlust is the desire to travel. Lingerlust is the urge to travel within, the urge and the desire to journey within.
Mm-hmm.
So that was divinely downloaded through amazing synchronicities. And I knew that was meant to be the title of the course and this book. But basically, Lingerlust is everything that I wish I would have known when I was going through my own spiritual awakening. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's really, it's called, it's Lingerlust, the guide to spiritual awakening, inner healing, and fulfillment. And the core of it is really the inner healing piece. Like spiritual awakening is the spark, right? It's the entry point. But the
Mm-hmm.
path through is a healing journey. There's no bypassing it. Um, I just feel with everything in my heart and soul that even to get to create, like to be able to manifest, when we're setting intentions, cannot bypass the inner healing part. And we all have something to heal
Right.
by
Right.
being human, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so this book takes you through that journey, and it goes through the alchemy of fulfillment as the methodology. So it teaches you how to receive energetically, tools and techniques for release, tools and techniques for transformation, tools and techniques for creation, setting intentions, and manifesting from a healed place, right?
Right.
From a healed place.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of what I always say, that's what spiritual rock stars all about. We could manifest things from our wounded self, right? And I always use tennis as my analogy. I'm like, I've gotten really angry playing tennis before, and I did win, but man, I was
You,
really like my back breaks down, like whatever, like my body breaks down, everything breaks down. And then I played with the utmost alignment, awakenness, full presence, and like everything's easy. I'm floating on air, and did even better, did even better. Like there's no willpower. I don't need willpower. I just like I let it happen. Yep. Won another match, won another match, won another match, right? Whereas with anger, it's you got to keep summoning that demon inside that just needs to be satisfied.
yeah, I mean, grit has its places, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe, but I have found prolonged periods of time without needing that grit, that type of grit at all. Like,
Mhm. Right, I agree.
now again, I wouldn't say it never has a place for sure. I get it. Like, I agree. Like most like healer types that are listening, like they don't have enough grit. Like when it comes to business, it's like, yeah, there's
And
still.
sometimes I say, like, you think about a Olympic athlete, like
Mhm.
they're going to visualize themselves up on the podium, right? They're going to be
Mhm.
setting
Mhm.
intention. They're going to visualize themselves winning. Doesn't mean they're not going to show up for practice, right?
Right, right,
They're
right,
still
right,
going to
right,
show up
right.
for practice and they're going to
I
work
don't need to
hard.
do anything. I'm just present. I just make it happen.
They're going to race hard and they're going to visualize it, right? So they're going to
Right.
use the two tools together. So I think that's beautiful.
Right, 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 right. You're right. I mean, you need a little bit of all of it to maximize
Masculine,
your
feminine.
potential in general, I would say. It's a good general axiom for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was just going to share, how it's, and I would love to know if this resonates with you. So, while I was writing this book, again, synchronicities. So, I was reading another book and it was about Buddhism and it was manifesting from and conscious creation from a Buddhist perspective. And there was a little bit of a meditation that he was recommending, and it was, take three deep breaths, easy peasy, ground into your inherent worthiness,
Mm,
and then do the rest of the exercise. And I really thought, grounding into your inherent worthiness. Think about the energy behind that statement and the significance of that. Again, that is the ultimate result of completing inner healing. Right? Being able to ground into your inherent worthiness is not something you do just as easily as taking 3 breaths,
mm-hmm,
especially
mm-hmm.
if you've been brought up in an environment um,
Right,
where your worthiness and you're full of self-doubt or those things, right?
right.
Journey there.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big one. I had actually I've got a book on my shelf here. I think it's called Inherent Worthiness from
Really?
somebody had been a client and also, a friend. And I don't know where I've got it. It came out a long time ago, but yeah, so I mean, totally. I mean, inherent worthiness is like a foreign concept to a lot of achiever types, right? You've got to earn it to be worthwhile. And, what if you come from a place of wholeness to start with, though, right? So,
And it's just there's a lot of meat there, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like there's a lot to work through on that sentence. I felt like really when I read that, I was like, that is my whole book. That's
Right.
that one sentence, that is my whole book. To ground into your inherent worthiness, this will help
Right,
you. Right?
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, totally. Okay, well, let's talk more. Now, if people, well, let's talk about where people can check out your book too. If they're like, oh, I'm intrigued by that. I want to get that book. Where can I find it?
Yes. So I will be selling it through my own website site, which is www.livejoycoach.com, but it will also be on Amazon, of course. So it's releasing on January 9th and it'll be available after that date. So I'm looking forward to that. And I can certainly give you the proper link when it becomes available.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, other than that, I do have a few other programs that, like obviously I'm a coach and a healer and I help people besides with this book. Um, Really my heart and my soul is with what I call the Spirit Joy Collective, and it's a membership program, and it really is the community and the sacred space where awakening and spiritually curious women come together to journey through. It's like to receive that energetic support through the
Mm-hmm.
awakening journey, the inner healing, basically everything that I talk about in Lingerlust. We talk about, we heal together, and we learn together in this community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the community part is specifically very important to me. I feel like that is definitely part of my mission and my calling is to do my work in community. And I'm very, very excited about growing that community
Mm-hmm.
with the help of this book. I hope that brings more people into my energetic sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, of course, one-on-one coaching. I have 3 and 6 month containers. Um, I love my one-on-one clients, so I'll leave that there. And I do sell healing packages in blocks of time. So I usually would just sell like an 8 hour block of time. And that way, during the healing, if it takes 2 hours or if it takes 30 minutes for that session, it just comes out at the block of time. I usually do that mostly after I find like people will do a 3-month coaching package and then book just the individual healings. So that seems to work.
Nice. Okay, well, yeah, fantastic. So we'll get deeper into the programs and all that stuff. But yeah, check out her book. If you are intrigued, we'll put a link in the show notes. And yeah, so and then you can also check her out at her website. So we'll also put a link in the show notes for that. And if I remember correctly, it is your name, right, for the website or no?
Live Joy Coach.
Live Joy Coach. Okay. All right. No, that's right. Okay. All right. I see too many websites. I get confused sometimes.
No worries. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, so as far as like what I'm getting, talking with you, meeting with you, but just tuning into you as we kind of transition into that aspect now more is, yeah, I feel like, well, for sure. I mean, and I don't know if you specifically have targeted this in your business for sure or not, but we're here to help people like ourselves, right? Like, okay, the whole idea, like some people say, who were you 5 years ago? And, all that stuff. And I think, that definitely would be that's a great focus for you, and really getting intimate with like that whole transformation that you had and how you want to help other people do it. I mean, for me, I went from like, okay, I know I have intuitive and psychic gifts, I guess, but I don't know how to use them really yet and direct them and to doing this energy scanning stuff. So and then getting clients and whatnot. So that's what I help people do in part. That's part of what I love doing. On top of helping people again who are, you know, have very hard driving people that need to relax and get somewhere centered and do their purpose and honor their gifts because that was sort of part of my path too, in a way, because I had some of that in myself. So for you, I feel you're still deepening, in your spiritual connection. We all are, but I mean, like when I look at the crown, for example, is an example. Before you're probably even more, way much more analytic, and whatnot. And what I see is a softening. I see the energy is flowing in deeper and more. The container and the width of the chakra is open to so many possibility. It really is. And then, but there is in terms of like the density in there, it's like a perfectionism energy still. So, we still want to make sure we get it right, and all that stuff, which sounds smart, right? Like we need some of that. But some of it might be a little too heavy sometimes still. It still might be like, oh my God, this is gonna be now you're with your grit, you may keep pushing through a bit, but I do get a sense of like, man, can it even be lighter? So letting in more of this lightness, I think, is your ongoing, thing. So it's like the thing we teach is the thing we need to learn the most, all that stuff, right? So you're going to keep teaching what you need to learn the most, keep lighting up, let it be lighter and lighter, and that'll be a big energetic key. Your third eye energy, you're able, you're can be I think you can become very masterful in tuning into people yourself, like just like, oh, I see what's going on with you, and looking through the field and everything. And so I really love that about you. And the funny thing is I think also you should consider helping people if you don't already, um, and seeing how to expand their businesses because you got a natural brilliance for that. You could see, well, there's more potential here. Like you'd be able to give advice, right? Guidance. You have background. You have the ability to do that. And the other cool thing is on a business end, there's plenty of money, in doing that for serious companies. I mean, it's not like you're dealing with people who are barely trying to get a business going. You'll be dealing with some people who have sizable companies or mid-sized companies, maybe they're small companies, but they're making good money, I mean, but they're stuck. Maybe they're burning out, maybe whatever, right? So maybe not all of them are going to become coaches and healers, right? Some of them might want to continue. And so I
Yeah.
feel like you have an ability to up level their vibration, but also strategically see what the next steps are. So anyway, so I see that for you. And then, yeah, your throat chakra, I think your thing has not been, you haven't, I don't know, maybe you haven't, maybe you've been big with marketing and sales in the past, but it seems like you're more like operations kind of feeling to me, right? And so I feel like you have more growth, that you're going to experience there and be able to strengthen the way you present and articulate things in a way that even connects more for people through your throat. There's that felt presence. You shared, it's so beautiful. The vulnerability and the emotion you're sharing today is fantastic. That definitely brings people in more. And then there'll just be even more of a strength in your voice. Um, I feel like with like getting people to agree to go somewhere and like to hire you and everything, it feels like you can do it, but then it's like I get a sense of like there's like you go only so far, like okay, I'll push you to come on board a little bit, but then I feel like sometimes you may let go of one that maybe would have been a good fit, but maybe you let it go a little bit too quick. Like, okay, just fly away, you're good, or whatever. I love you. And it sounds beautiful, but like it's like well, if you hang in there a little deeper, get a little more present, a little more strength, maybe they would have come in, So we're talking about doubling your sales and your income. Like these are things that are coming to mind. And so your heart space is fantastic to invite people in. People feel welcomed and um totally like I can be I'm sharing things on the show and I normally do anyway, but like I just feel a little extra more comfortable with someone like you, like, oh, okay, I can let my hair down and just talk. And that was kind of cool with that welcoming energy where people feel safe, they feel protected. You've got that community, right? So you've got that community vibe you're holding, right? It's held right in your heart for you. You don't even have to effort it, it's just already there. So you're bringing people in that way. I think with your group, like, I think that there's something about it that I don't know. This is just a hunch, and we can keep talking about it, but I feel like, yeah, at one level, people just, dang, I just want to feel lighter, I just want to be joyful or whatever, right? I mean, that's one level. So maybe the group's perfect the way it is in that regard, right? But I feel like your tribe, they're like, but I still want results. I want those results. And they really do want those results, right? So I feel like there's a place for that too in group containers and whatnot that will evolve and happen as well. So I think that would be huge. I think it would be like a mastermind comes to mind, something like that would be really good for you, right? Like you get Crystal's nodding her head and whatnot. So yeah, she's
You're
like,
onto something there.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I got one of those in the work. Yeah, half the time when I come up with these ideas, people are like, I'm already starting to work on that one. So
No,
yeah,
it's a good suggestion.
yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm definitely resonate with that.
Mhm.
And the other thing you talk about the voice, I really do feel pulled towards public speaking and
Nice.
motivational speaking. And I literally just started crafting a signature talk around how to reclaim and embody your birthright frequency. Like,
Mhm.
um, feeling that's going to play out. The mastermind idea, the like, there's the healing, and then there's let's get some results for people, like the masculine part of things, right? To
Yeah. The
keep them moving
creation
forward.
part too, though, right? You got the
Yeah.
creation manifesting. Yep.
Yep. Like there's four parts to the alchemy of
Yeah.
fulfillment,
Yeah.
and the healing gets you to becoming a powerful manifester.
Fantastic. So yeah, so those type of things, and then yeah, I mean, I think really in this realm to trust yourself more, like um I think some of it is the, the newness into the field. You're not like a 30-year vet yet, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. But yeah, a little, like even people that do it 30 years sometimes have a lot of doubts, but like just getting past some of that doubt, like, oh my God, what if I couldn't help them? Like those fears like come in, right? So just,
Absolutely.
yeah, right. So,
Selling a medical device and your own personal transformation product or
okay.
service, right? They're two different things for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just trusting that more. Because my motto is well, I have had the experience of how, like I have 7, 8 people in a group, I've all, in a program with me or something. And then one person for even maybe it's not even the whole program, but like just for a brief period of time is like all pissed off at me, or I perceive they're pissed off or upset with me and dissatisfied in some way. And then when you're sensitive and you're not used to it, at first you're like, your attention tends to go to that, right? You're like, oh my God, one person, right, in the group. And at least I was that way. And I had to start realizing like, it's okay. It's okay if people are upset with me. It's okay. Even okay if somehow they don't seem to be getting the results, because usually, like for me, I don't know if it's true for other people, sometimes they are getting great results, but my mind isn't perceiving they're getting the great results because I had even a greater vision for them. Like,
Well, I do feel pretty confident in my results. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I am
Oh,
an
that's
advanced
great.
Akashic Records practitioner.
Great.
I do the chakra scanning and the energy scanning. And
Hmm.
I more often than not,
Hmm.
what people share with me is I've been going to counseling for 5 years about this thing, and I feel like I've finally gotten to the other side of it.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is totally amazing. So yeah, just trusting it more because, that's always a factor in terms of how many people you're already serving. Like, okay, all right. So yeah, as long as you feel like you can help that person, right? But there's people like maybe where, what I find is people have less clients. It's yeah, and then like all of them get great. No, I'm totally confident. Okay, how about if we triple your people that you're working with? Are you still confident? And most people say no. Like, I don't know. If we start taking more chances, like, I don't know. So
Um,
so it's something for the audience at a minimum. So yeah, we just want to increase the circle of trust with everything. So anyway, take it or leave it. And then as far as like um, with well, let's get into the structures. We talked some of the energy stuff. Most of that resonated for you, but let's get into the things that you're offering. Now, I think just by offering like, yeah, next levels, if you like all these levels need to be covered, right? So receive, release, transform, create. So yeah, just even by offering the mastermind alone could totally double your business, right? I mean, that honestly, I feel like that could take off faster than some of this other stuff.
I actually facilitate a mastermind group, but it's not
Mhm.
a spiritual energy thing. It's a
Yeah,
CEO.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been a part of a mastermind for 13 years. I'm the facilitator, and the structure, everything about it is just beautiful. That's why it's been lasting so long. And I again, thank you again. So there's a little bit of a thought about transferring that into a group of spiritual business owners.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I kind of wonder about because are they already spiritual business owners, or are they?
Just business
That's where we
owners
get.
with
What, go on.
spiritual connection. Business
Yes.
owners that want spiritual connection as part of the
Yeah.
mastermind, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. That I would agree
love
with.
that. Love
Because
that.
yeah, getting really nuanced about exactly, this is something I really harp on sometimes with my clients. I'm like, let's get it really nuanced on who these people really are. I mean, they're more, maybe a year, 2 years in, 3 years. I don't know, like only so you might like going really into this spiritual connection and healing and whatnot. So they're more newly minted is my first thought. Like they're learning to operate in a whole new way in their business. Like is the first thought I have about it. You know, of course, they don't have to get rid of everything the way they did things before, but like it's a new orientation. That's how I read it, at least for your audience.
That feels aligned for me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
exciting.
It is exciting, is it? Because it's like, wow, I mean, we're doing this masterminding from a whole different level. You're doing it from being healed, number one. Number two, we're spending more time really going deeper within and downloading things and whatever, like the whole you know, you have a whole your own process how you help them with that in a mastermind type of thing, rather than traditional masterminds, you know, aren't necessarily really like that. I mean, you know, there's so many different types, but like, um, but yeah, it could be more like, well, here's my idea. What is your ideas, right? Like that's most traditional type of mastermind, right? So rather like, well, let's all tune in for, you know, because I've done ones like that, like let's all tune in for Jackie right now. Let's all see what spirit's coming up for, you know, like they're really going deeper inside. And then as things evolve, like, you know, they could hold space and you could do a healing for them too, as they're having a meltdown about what's coming through. Oh my God, you know, it's true, but you know, you know, you can help, you know, them through that. So I could definitely
Yeah.
see that doing that laser coaching healing right through that.
Holding
And
the space while they.
then, you know, if you have that, then you might actually be able to more easily break off the one-to-ones, right? Like now we've had really high level one-to-one, like they could break off from that, like really high level, you know, I don't know what you consider high level, but like maybe even 50,000, 100,000, whatever. I mean, you know, we could decide that, but you know, something really high level and where it would make sense, like in the mastermind, yeah, it's got to be a respectable level too. It's got to be a higher level. So now, do you charge tens of thousands for your containers typically, or are you charging less than that?
My 3-month program is 7 sessions, and I charge
Uh-huh.
4,600 US.
Okay, good. All right. All right, nice. So, so that's a good, I mean, for, you know, someone that's a little bit newer in the field, like that's good. That's a good start. So, so for 7 sessions and all that, and then how are they, so they're supported through the sessions and then they're getting the modules and other, you know, other support from you,
Yes,
right?
like
So,
I have workbooks and meditations. That the Lingerlust course itself has its own tools. My coaching sessions themselves are 75 minutes, and so most traditionally coaching sessions are 60 minutes. But I allow time for transformational processes, whether
mhm,
that's an Akashic record healing, some just
mhm,
intuitive insights from spirit. But there is always time for healing or transformational processes within the coaching structure. And so we meet bi-weekly for the 3 months. And I find uh, more often than not, at the end of the 3 months, they really have a clear path to where they're
mhm,
going.
mhm,
And they know that they are always welcome to come back to me for extra healing, or if they want to sign up for another 3-month package, they're always available. That's always available.
mhm,
But yeah, that seems to be the path forward, is the 3-month coaching structure and then healing.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, so that's good. And then so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like yeah, when I you know, for me I'd tap in where do I feel the most money? One of my
Yeah,
things.
share,
And
share.
so far it's the mastermind.
Okay.
So
Noted.
just yeah, so just my download for you. So I mean you can have, you know, like this is like a like, okay, we really need to do this. This is important. We need to do the spiritual work, right? And then, you know, but as they progress with that, it's like, well, what's next? You know, okay, we need to get it, we get into the creation, like the mastermind is like one of the options. Maybe it's one-to-one, but you know, there's so much power in the group and all those things. I think like you would do great to sell those selling points for those. And we're doing this community, which is huge for people like that. You're not crazy. There's other people in there. There's going to be other people in there that just like you, right? Or similar to you at least. So
Yeah, and I do wonder now that I have the Spiritual Collective, because that is my newest offering, the
yeah,
monthly membership, is that people coming through my coaching and any healing, there's this opportunity for them to stay in community with us.
right, right, exactly.
even after the first container is done.
Right, because they will be looking for more. They won't be looking for the same thing forever, I don't think. Like I don't know. Now I'll stay in the collective for 20, whatever. I don't know, even a few years. Like there might be some of the, I mean, maybe a few, but most people drop off, at some point and be like, oh, this has been great, but I think I'm ready for something else now, right? So they're looking for something else anyway. You may as well offer them other options, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
something like that would take them to the next step. Because now then it's like an integration. Like, okay, we've dealt with the healing now. Now we need to get out and start creating again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And things come up. We're never fully, we feel good, we're integrated, we're living, but then there's still
Mhm.
some will come up to
Oh,
be
sure.
healed, right?
Yeah.
Always. So,
So that yeah, maybe there's still they, but you see, like that would be even more appealing coming off. Like that's the reason to stay in the collective. Then right? So like oh,
so,
and then those would probably be the people that be in there much longer. Then so that'd be
yeah.
perfect connection. Yeah. So anyway, so these are some of the things coming through. The collective is the collective, if you're the mastermind's 20,000 or whatever, I'm just throwing out numbers. It's 20,000 or more or whatever, you got that. How many people could you put in a mastermind? I mean, you've run masterminds for a long time. What do you think?
I think like 12-ish
That's
is
what
the
I
number that
thought.
feels
Okay.
good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Our mastermind started with 16. We've been at 13. It reduced to 13 pretty quickly, and we maintain that number.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels good. 12,
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a couple $100,000 right there just to get started. And, you could always up level it. And how long that mastermind lasts you know, could be whatever amount of time you decide. But like, if you make it even a higher price, it could be for a year, right? Or you could lower, have a lower price and, we get started with this. We're going to start this mastermind for the next 3 to 4 months or 6 months or whatever. And then they could continue, and it's a renewal or whatever. Like there's many ways you could build it out from there. But I think it's like a foundation for the is one of the foundations of this particular business would be great. And then you could have like again super high end one-to-one. I think like where you don't have to work really hard, but you just have people like it's so valuable what you can give to them that it could easily be worth 50 to $100,000. Like I could definitely see that. And then yeah, you'll
Yeah.
write your books and you do a lot of other things and speaking, keynoting and maybe and things like that are possible, right? Those are all possibilities, and you could start really doing really workshops and a lot of things. You could do one-offs, a lot of one-off stuff. Um, on top of, yeah, sure, you could create structures as well, but I'm just saying, like, there's so many possibilities there. So, yeah, the book could be a whole way of helping a whole organization to lift their energy up, right?
Yeah, thank you. I feel really aligned with the mastermind concept, and I
Mhm.
think about leadership and conscious leadership, and that's kind of a buzzword, but
Mhm.
what a gift to the world it would be if more of our business owners and leaders were more aware, self-aware, healed,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
What a gift that would be.
Yes, 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 please, yes. That'd be huge. That'd be huge. Okay, so that's what I have to share with you so far. And like I said, easily you could double whatever your income is right now with that, right? So definitely. Okay, fantastic. And everybody, again, check out Crystal and everything that she's up to. It sounds pretty cool, huh? Maybe some of you want to be in her mastermind. She's got it coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. All right. But in the meantime, you can do her book. You can, start checking it out, like, the book's probably whatever, $20 or $30, whatever it is. But you'll check that out. Just go grab a copy and get started and support this mission and receive the benefit. I mean, like, like it's a movement, like this is a movement, this whole thing.
Totally.
And you could be a
Definitely.
part of that and contribute to it for your own life first, but like, you're building it for others too as you get involved with it. So, all right. So, and then Crystal, um, is there anything else you want to share right now before, I share everybody where people can go for me? I just want to give you another chance to plug yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I would just invite everybody to visit my website, www.livejoycoach.com. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at livejoy with Crystal. And yeah, I would love to see you in one of my communities. I mean, Spirit Joy Collective. Just, I guess I just want to be with my tribe, right? Like my tribe is going to find me and I'm going to be there with them. And I just love being with my people and hoping to see that grow.
Fantastic. All right. I love it. Okay. And everybody, if you want to check me out, just go to yoursacredpurpose.com and you can get a consultation with me, my Rock Your Sacred Purpose consultation. You can check that out, and that's a great way to get started. It would be something a little bit similar to this, maybe a little bit more in depth, because we'd be solely focused, during that session, just doing the scanning and doing the strategy and everything. And, honestly, not everybody agrees with me at first, but most people that soak into whatever I say, even if there's a few things that don't make sense, they sit with it like, the more I thought about that actually makes sense. So I find that happens a lot with my initial consultations. And people, sometimes people don't even meet with me that many times and can have profound breakthroughs in their business and in their lives right away from just even one consultation. So check out the Rock Your Sacred Purpose Energy Scan consultation. And also I have a free meditation that you'll see when you go to the page there. My free meditate and make money meditation, which helps you just to relax, open up those chakras a bit, get your guidance, and do it the easy way, the meditate and make money way, right? So go check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. All right. Crystal, any last words of profundity for the audience?
Oh boy. I guess, I guess just my wish for everybody is that they will go on that journey of remembering their inherent worth, living their birthright frequency, and creating from a place of joy and fulfillment.
And so it is, amen. All right, so glad to have you today, Crystal. And as I always say, thank you to our listeners, and keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time. For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.